There's Christian, number one as always. What's up, Christian? Pull this a little bit closer. Well, when you're here, you are usually number one. That light. I am going to adjust this light real quick. Over. Drosanthemum globosum. Okay, let me... Okay, Dragonite, sounds good. It's nice to see your name pop up, though. I did my taxes already. Well, I should say Wes did our taxes. Let's see, there it is, Drosanthemum globosum. Let's see. Ooh. Interesting. Oh, it's got like a classic kind of succulent flower too, with like the really elongated petals. I think they're petals, or are they sepals? I think they're petals. Huh. Christian, did you come across one of those? And Dragonite, it's okay. Like you still have like a month and a half. Well, no, I guess it's already the 9th. Okay, you have like a month. But yeah. I'm not loving my headspace here, you guys. Hang on. Let me just tip this down just a bit. Okay. I could see that, like Willy Wonka. I've never heard of that. It's kind of a cool name, though. Like, what family is that in? I guess I could have looked, but I figured you might already have that information. And just so we know, I'm not drinking on camera. This is cream soda. Stubert's cream soda, which is, I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's up there. Okay, so Delosperma is in, is it in Azoaceae? Hello, Isaiah. See, I remembered this time. You've got me curious now. I've still got it pulled up. Hang on, let me see if I can just find it, if you don't beat me to it. Good morning, Asraf. Now, why is that the first thing it pulls up? Succulent plant native to South Africa, globular ice plant. Oh, wait. Wikipedia will tell us something. Drosanthemum Azoaceae. I got it right. I'm actually kind of happy about that. Azoaceae is just kind of a bizarre family of succulents anyway. I think Lampranthus or Oscularia or whatever you want to call it, I think it's an Azoaceae too. And they're usually just, they have bizarre shaped leaves, or they're very unique looking. And I think they make pretty good houseplants myself. You would think that Portulacaria is an Azoaceae, but I think it's in something else. It's in a different family, which is fine because Portulacaria is terrible. But how is everybody doing tonight, by the way? As we kind of start nerding out a little bit here. Delivery oil. Well, it can forgive me all at once. Schefflera green. When you say Schefflera green, do you just mean like a regular green Schefflera? Which we're going to talk a little bit about. We're going to talk a little bit about some of that later tonight. I'm kind of on this kick about Aurelias right now, so we're going to go down that rabbit hole a little bit. But yeah, non-variegated one. Okay. You know, I don't think I don't think the variegated ones hold very well. Um, my mom my mom had a big one at one point and it wasn't variegated, but I've seen the smaller ones. It just seems like they lose variegation. My video is backward. Hi, Sylv. Uh, is it always backwards? I didn't think it was always backwards. I can't imagine why that is. I see that it is, though. Now I should be wearing a plain shirt, just so you guys can't tell that it's backwards. I don't get it. It's. I didn't think it was ever backward. Well, I don't have a shirt near me, and I'm not just gonna take my shirt off. I'm in no condition to do that. It's fine. Well, it's Legend of Zelda, in case you guys can't read backwards. Usruff, I don't know if you saw, I did a short a few days ago and I found an Alocasia stingray. I was this close to buying it because I've never seen one in person before. I mean, I've heard of Alocasia stingray, but it just seeing it in person and seeing that uniquely shaped leaf was really impressive to me. It was $30 though, and I wasn't gonna buy it and then have the thing die because Alocasias, it's kind of hit and miss. Some alocasias are easier than others, but I touched the leaf and I'm like, no way. Like, there's no way that this is going to survive in my house without some sort of like supplemental humidity or having me baby it or something. But yeah. Oh, well, Christian, I'm glad you saw it. I try to post them 2 or 3 days early just so that people can kind of maybe plan ahead a little bit. But I know that's still not always easy. It's okay. I mean, I've killed, oh, what have I killed the most of? I had a pretty big ivy massacre like 3 years ago, 2 years ago. I had it in my head that I could like somehow turn my bathroom into this ivy wonderland, and it just didn't work. For one thing, the bathroom didn't have any windows in it, and yeah, it's okay. I didn't spend that much money because I mostly just bought like the little ivy cups, and it was only like $4 each. I don't know. It was still probably like 80 bucks down the drain, but whatever. Also, if you hear Wes, he's upstairs gaming. I don't know if he's watching this or not, but the alocasia I did in my original alocasia video was actually pretty hardy. And even when you touched the leaves, you could tell that they were pretty hardy. They were a little more firm. And I kind of went out of my way to baby it a little bit. I didn't even supplement humidity with it. I kept watering it and it did just fine. But of course, there are those alocasias that are like, don't look at me wrong or I'm dead. Um, Sylv, okay, so Sylv, I did a video on Schefflera. I think I'm gonna do a follow-up video on just the Aurelia family, because like I don't know, that video I made well, not a long time ago, but I made it like 2 years ago, almost. How long have we been doing this? Maybe it was like a year and a half ago. But yeah, I mean, feel free to watch that one too, but just know that I'll do another one soon. I just want to get a little bit more into Aurelias. Okay, fertilizing with every watering is. Oh, okay. So Isaiah says that he waters, or he fertilizes every time he waters an alocasia. Anyone else do that? Also, we have an activity we're gonna do because um, I'm still in the middle of, so we've completely rearranged like the living room and the dining room and everything. So if you guys are keeping track, this is the shelf that I normally film in front of, but we're now down in my living room on like the lower level. And in the process of doing that, I've been kind of offloading some plants. Um, Esquirrue, which is Isaiah, he's been helping me actually get rid of some. So I know him in real life, but yeah. So whenever I'm done, I will do kind of, I'll probably do a video, like a plant tour, so that you guys can see what survived. Not survived, but what I decided to keep. Just because I just don't have quite as much room as I thought. And I've been getting bigger plants lately too. Like all of these like smaller plants, I've been kind of phasing some of these out in lieu of like, bigger plants. Okay, Linux. Well, that's good to know. That backs up my theory that I shouldn't have bought that Alocasia Stingray because uh, it was really cool, but I know better. Now, if it had been like 10 bucks or something, I would have been like, why not? Sure, let's do it. Well, okay, Christian. In my defense, I do have a wish list still, so I'm kind of factoring that in as I'm trying to clear some room. Um, the only things on it right now, I want to find a really nice, like, Sirius shaped cactus, like a nice column cactus. It doesn't have to be in the genus Sirius. It could be like Euphorbia for all I care. But my mom always had a really big one. It got so tall that it like started touching the ceiling, and she used to have to take like cuttings of it. So I just kind of wanted something like that, just kind of in her memory. But and also I'm trying to find a Fatsia japonica, just because we didn't do Fatsia the first time around on like the plant care videos, and Fatsia is in the Aralia family, so we're gonna go there with it. Hi, Leaf here. No worries. I popped on to Growfold's video just briefly before I kind of fired this up, and I saw you in there. So I thought, well, Leaf here might be a little bit late tonight. Uh, Paraiso Verde and Calathea orbifolia are arriving today too. Oh, good. I love Calathea orbifolia. I had one for a long time, and the leaves were getting pretty good sized on it, but it just started getting to the point where it was needing a little bit more humidity that I was able to provide it because it was getting so big. And I ended up getting a pretty good sized Tenanthe instead. So I offloaded the orbifolia, but I love how perfectly round those leaves are. So, yeah. Trigona. Let me look that up real quick. Because that does sound familiar. Euphorbia trigona. Do, do, do. Oh, okay. I've seen those. I've seen the purple ones too. Huh. Yeah, so the euphorbia the euphorbia that I had one time was actually pretty like it was pretty thick. Like it was oh, what's the best way to describe it? Like it didn't have a lot of give to it when you touched it, and it did get the leaves on top like that. In case anybody doesn't know, if you have what you think is a cactus and it's getting leaves on it, it's probably a euphorbia. Um, I don't have an example to show you right this second, but yeah, cacti do not get leaves on them, except for there is one genus. Well, actually, there's three now. One genus of cacti that are leaves, but they are not succulent, shape that get leaves. Does that make sense? But yeah. What's up, Steven? Rubra's or Rubra's the red one, I'm assuming, right? Yes, Leaf Year, I was spying on you. I saw that Growfolds was doing a thing, and I'm like, I'm gonna pop in here just to see what's going on, and I wanted to see if you were in there. Chris says smoke tree is the only euphorbia I'd get. The smoke tree. Smoke tree. Yeah, Sriff, I've heard of the white ghost. I don't think I've seen one. Um, White variegation on like cacti and euphorbia is not super common, so it's always kind of cool when you can find that. It's not really variegation though, but what was I just looking up? Oh, smoke tree. Oh, it's bringing up a whole bunch of different stuff. Is that even? You're gonna have to drop me a genus name. Yeah, Pereschia is the one that is leaves. Like there, it's a cactus, but it's actually leaves, and they even still have the thorns on them. And Pereschia got split. It had some species taken out of it, and they were put into two other genera as well. I don't remember what the other two genera are called off the top of my head, but all three of them have like the leafy shape to them, which is really unusual for cacti because most cacti are what we imagine cacti to be. I was going to do a video on Pereschia. I can't find one. And, I don't really like buying plants off Etsy. I mean, it's nothing against Etsy itself, but I don't really like a lot of the sellers on there because it can be kind of deceptive if you're not careful. Like they'll show you a picture of a big, beautiful plant, and then you'll get like a 4 inch cutting. Now, they, of course, they say that it's 4 inches, but it's just, they don't show you the actual picture of what you're getting, and I don't trust that. That's not my game. I like seeing what I'm getting when it comes to plants. Um, do, 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 do. Euphorbia cotontifolia. Oh, I'm so bad with species names. Okay. Euphorbia coton. There it is. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a cool one. I mean, I've never seen that for sale anywhere. Honestly, I haven't been plant shopping proper, like as in going to greenhouses. I haven't been in a while. It's probably been a month and a half. I think it was in January. Just because I've been trying not to get more plants, but I just haven't really been motivated to do that. I don't know. Get back on the wagon. Yeah. So I'm gonna have you guys vote. No, we're gonna do this. Let's do that in a minute. The Aurelia thing I was talking about before. Uh, I was at Home Depot and I saw those Scheffleras, and I haven't had a Schefflera in a long time just because I usually get the smaller ones and they always drop their leaves. And I know it's probably because I wasn't watering it enough. Schefflera isn't a beginner plant by any means. It takes a little bit more finesse to keep it from like dropping leaves. And I really just kind of wanted to get into Aurelia because I've talked so much crap on it. Because Aurelia is known for getting spider mites, like any plant in Aurelia, especially like Fatsia. Fatsia is terrible about getting spider mites. But now I want to get one again because it's been probably 2 or 3 years since I've had one. And Fatsia is a beautiful plant. Like just some of the variegation patterns that they have and everything. If you can just be proactive and keep it hosed off, like you'll be fine. But it's, you guys know me. I tend to like underwater sometimes, and I'm not always as diligent about that kind of thing as I should be. So that's my challenge. I want to make Aurelia work for me because I've had really good luck with Hedera, and Hedera is not always the easiest plant to take care of, but shut up, Christian. Uh, but I've just about got Hedera mastered, so I want to be able to do that because honestly, I don't know how my mom kept some of these plants alive. Do you guys have any relatives or anything like that had certain plants and you were like, how did that ever happen? She had a big, tall Norfolk Island pine, and I cannot keep those alive. Like Norfolk pines just need some sort of special care that I just don't have. Uh, like, a bunch of humidity. Yeah, well, and I agree with you, Asraf. Like, the variegation has to be really impressive for me to kind of be drawn to it. Schefflera variegation isn't really that impressive to me. Um, but like when you guys see my tour, when I do my plant tour, you probably won't see a ton of variegated plants. Like I have some, I have a few, but I just, something about green plants appeals to me more than like a bunch of variegated plants. But I mean, I'm looking at my Ficus benjamina. It's variegated. It's a starlight or whatever. Not Taniki. That's Elastica, but it's variegated. Yeah. So Begonia maculata is a perfect example because Begonia maculata is the easier of the two between that and Rex, but it still needs more of, I hate to use the term green thumb, but like it still needs more of that level of expertise to like keep it from dying. Like if you if you give somebody who's a very beginner a philodendron and a begonia, like this one will probably survive, this one probably won't. But um the 70s, that's a long time. And then yeah, it does need bright light just because pines in general need a lot of light. And that's why we don't have more pines as houseplants because we can't provide that level of light. I mean, if you have a really bright window, you can get away with it with Norfolk, the Norfolk Island one, but uh, Araucaria, let me just start saying the actual genus name because Norfolk is really hard to say. Araucaria is a lot easier. But yeah, it needs a lot of light, and you have to keep it watered, and you have to keep it humid because they come from an island, and it's a tricky thing. And to me, they're not impressive enough to justify all that work. I mean, I appreciate the uniqueness of them, and that isn't it. Are there other? I think there's only a couple of species in Araucaria, but oh yeah. Well, and that's one of those ones that you can take a cutting, begonias. You can take a cutting and basically start a new plant, and just it's sort of immortal in that way. Have you guys heard of a plant called, I don't know if I'm saying it right, but it's in the genus Balfouriana, and it is an Aurelia. I don't remember the species name, but I know it's like Balfouriana, and it's some sort of Aurelia, but I can't think. Does that sound familiar? I wish I could show you a picture, but I've seen one before. I'm trying to find another one, but it's just, I don't think they're that common. Interesting. This is like a protein drink, and it's chocolate strawberry. I know it's backwards, so you guys can't actually read it, but it's okay. I don't know if I'd buy it again. Okay, well you better come do it because it's like almost empty. Also, if you come down, can you bring me another shirt so that this one isn't backwards? That's kind of annoying me now. Oh, here he comes. I hear him. One other thing I wanted to do, I mean, just keep talking and everything, but one thing I'm going to work on while we're doing this, I bought a bowl, like a nice terracotta bowl, and I want to put together a little planter. So yeah. No, I'm not going to change on camera. Sorry. That'll be for the Patreon. Uh, Asraf, do you know it's very difficult to grow ficus regulators? Okay. When we when when we talked about ficus, like I don't know if I actually talked about Ficus triangularis because Ficus triangularis is very difficult to take care of. And there's going to be those people that are like, "Oh, I have one and it's just so easy and all I do is this," and it's just there's always that person, but like in general, Ficus triangularis is one of the hardest to take care of. Now, that's not to say it's impossible, but it's like it's kind of like a Benjamina on steroids, where if you move it to a new location, or if you miss a watering, or if you water too much, or if it's not getting enough light, it's just gonna start shedding leaves. And I've had several, like I've had the variegated one and I've had the solid green one, which is actually my favorite, and it just doesn't work. Like I don't know why it doesn't work, but they're a beautiful, unique plant, and Ficus is like my favorite genus, so it's hard for me not to have one. Ooh, now I kind of want to go get one. No, I'm not gonna do that. But like, there's just not that many leaves that are triangular like that, so I think it's a really, if you can keep it alive, it's a really unique plant to have in your collection. So, but it is not easy. So don't feel bad if you killed it. One way that I'm going to kind of cut down on the number of plants I have is I'm going to take some plants. I'm going to take some plants I already have and I'm going to put them into a planter. I guess that's kind of cheating, but you know, it's going to look good. I actually like this little terracotta. Well, it's not little, it's big. I actually like this bowl a lot for succulents. So, uh, what kind of ficus was it? And yeah, Steven, I'm using an iPhone to stream. But I'm looking, like when you see me looking off like this, it's because I have my laptop set up so that I can read the comments. So I'm not like distracted. I'm actually like looking at you guys. Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Ficus lyrata is a good one to put outside during the summer, so I would imagine that's what it was. The only problem with Ficus lyrata is it can outgrow its space. Like it's one of the few plants that will actually like just continue to grow, and then you have to, yeah. Sylv, it's so funny you said that. I usually put a couple of twigs and I cross like twigs so that it kind of helps keep the dirt in. This time I'm just using toothpicks. So yeah, I always do that because the hole in the bottom is kind of wide. Like if it's a small hole, I won't do that, but yeah. Okay, yeah. That's I have the Shiveriana. If we're talking about Ficus elastica, the Shiveriana kind of has those. It's not really a mint green, but it's got like light green with like dark green spots on it. It's actually pretty cool. Yes, I know, but now they're talking about how there might be a way to like undo this. Uh, I don't know though. I don't know. I don't want to mess it up. Do do do. Hang on, you guys. I'm just taking a little look here. Highlight to save. No, that's not it. If there is a setting, I'm actually not sure what it is. I'm looking though. I'm just touching things just to see what happens. Okay, well, anyway. Um, so I have, hang on. During the 1900s. You don't have to make it sound so old. I have 5 plants here, and I can only fit 4 in the pot. So I'm gonna have you guys help me decide which ones to put in here. The other one that we don't pick, I'll probably just get rid of. But I kind of just wanted to make a nice little cacti planter. And eventually they'll probably outgrow it, but cacti grow so slowly that I'm not really that worried about it right now. Something I can deal with down the road. Hang on just a sec here. Oh, okay. There. This shirt actually has text on the bottom. So like that would be backwards too, but you guys can't see that, so it doesn't matter. I don't know if I have, I had some mesh at one point, and it was just a couple of, like little disc pieces of mesh, but a thriller, a spiller, and a filler. Thriller, spiller, and a filler. I don't know if I have anything that, I don't know if I have anything over there that, well, I guess there's that crassula. I don't know if that would fit in this pot though, but it's starting to kind of go crazy. I'm looking over at my succulent shelf. The toothpicks will be just fine. I might actually get a third one, just to kind of make it nice and even. But I'm looking over there. I just don't have as many succulents as I used to. I'm just wondering if I can put that crassula in here. I didn't realize so many of you guys covered your drainage holes. Like I said, I mean, I do, but I usually just like do a couple of twigs. Oh no, I don't remember. I don't remember what. I don't remember what succulent I showed that was the mystery succulent. Was it the? Well, yeah, I don't remember which one it was now. Mirroring off under accessibility zoom, it's towards the bottom. Oh, I'm pretty sure it was Corpusulacaria just because I looked, like the pot it came in said Corpusulacaria, but I think it's somehow related. It might be an Azoiaceae too because I think it's somehow related to lithops. So when you say accessibility, do you mean on my phone or on the YouTube part? I mean, I'll try to fix it, but oh, in iPhone options? Okay, well, okay. If this goes away, you guys give me. Nope, that didn't do anything. Like I saw a thing about mirroring, but it didn't. There wasn't an option. I mean, it's not like a huge deal necessarily. I think it'd be different if I was like showing you guys like flashcards or something, like something where you'd actually have to read. But like, it's interesting because it's no different to me than if I'm taking a selfie. Like it's no more mirrored than if I were like taking a selfie, sorry. I should assign homework. And then like next time we can discuss it. That's what I should do. But I won't do that because I'm a nice teacher. I'm gonna start filling this pot, however. I've got like a whole pot of dirt here. You know, I didn't actually choose to be like an iPhone user. It just sort of worked out that way, in my defense. Okay. Soil, yes, soil, not dirt. Well, don't worry. If there's premium content, I will make sure that it's not mirrored. I will get that fixed before we go financial on things. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to vacuum again. Substrate, yeah, it is. I guess you could call it, if we want to be appropriate, I guess we could just call it substrate. So here are, I don't know if I want to grab that crassula. Let me show you guys what crassula I'm talking about here. Okay, so this is, I forget which species this is, but it's called string of buttons, and this is a crassula. And I did this, I think I had this when I did my crassula video, I may not have. But anyway, it's getting really out of control. And I just don't know if I even want to put it in this pot because I think it's doing so well on its own that I'm just gonna leave it alone. And it is so cool. Like, when you touch this thing and feel how kind of firm some of these are, it's kind of crazy. But yeah, I don't know. And it's got a lot of pink on it. If you guys notice how it's kind of got a lot of red and pink on it, just because I have it pretty close to a grow light, and honestly, it seems to really love it. Like, it has not dropped anything. It hasn't looked crappy or anything. I mean, I can see on the interior where some of the leaves have dried up a little bit, but that's more just because they don't have room. Like the plant, it's almost like it knows that those pieces aren't doing any good, so it just kind of sucks the juice out of them. But yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna leave this by itself. I mean, those little rosettes, they're just like little, you know, like little, I don't know, flowers, I guess. But they're obviously not flowers. Where can I set this thing? I have zero room. I'm gonna put it right here. Hang on, you guys have been talking. Can I think of sedum for this filler? I don't actually have a sedum, but a sedum would be a good filler. Well, which kind of plants, Dragonite? Are you talking like crassula or just like succulents? Hi, Ginger. The plant I just showed you, it's a crassula. I don't know the species, but it's called string of buttons. So if you type in like crassula string of buttons, it'll bring up what the species is. It's in my head someplace. I just don't know what it is. And Sylv, like this will be good enough for drainage. I think this is just a regular, this is kind of a regular houseplant soil. I've noticed that, I've noticed sometimes when I use cacti succulent soil, it almost drains too fast for certain plants. Like I water it and it's dry like half a day later, and that's not necessarily what I'm wanting. So I'm just gonna try it with like just the regular mix. It's still got a lot of perlite in it. It's still, you know, it's got, I could put orchid bark in here, I guess. But it's already got it's pretty chunky actually. So I think it'll be fine. And it's in terracotta. Oh, it is perforata. I think it is Crassula perforata. That sounds correct. Burrow's tail. Which one is the Burrow's tail? Okay, good. We solved that mystery. We're pretty good at figuring things out as a team, aren't we? So I'm going to show you guys, that's not going to be one of them. That was just a bonus, I guess. But I'm going to show you guys these 5 plants, and we're going to pick 4. First off, what am I going to show you first? First off, we have Stetsonia. So Stetsonia is just kind of a column cactus. It's also called the toothpick cactus because it has these really long spines on top. Uh, it's a Stetsonia corinne, and corinne is the only species in Stetsonia, so that's kind of cool. Um, yes, Dragonite, very stabby. So you have to be careful around this. You'll put an eye out. Um, I like it. It's got kind of a cool shape to it. And I like things that only have like one species in the genus for some reason. But yeah. What else do I got? I've got this pharaoh cactus, which I did a video on at one point. Um, it's gotten a little bit bigger, but it is very slow growing. I love the hooked spines, even though they're dangerous. And I love that they're kind of pink. I don't know if the camera can really pick that up, but they do have kind of a pink hue to them. And I think that as it gets bigger, it'll probably get a little more pink. But I don't know. This is a good one. It is scary. Like, especially when it gets bigger, you have to be careful not to catch your skin on it because it'll just rip you open. But what else? I also have this mammillaria. This is mammillaria. I don't remember which one it is. I looked it up last night too, and I still don't remember. It might start with an L, but they're pretty much just in a small cluster like this. It does flower. It'll get really kind of unremarkable white flowers that come out on top, and I love it because I love that kind of clumped cactus look, and I love that it's white. Like these are just naturally white. They're really not too sharp. Like if I really like put down on this, like it'll come out. But like I can touch this and it's not really a big deal. It does look, yes, Simon, it is kind of similar to the fairy cactus. Fairy cactus is in a different genus. It's not mammillaria. I don't remember what it is off the top of my head. Yeah, we're gonna see how often I get stabbed when I do this, but hopefully not too much. Sylph, I've had this Stetsonia for, well, probably a month or two before we did the video. So I would say 6 months, 7 months. It's doing fine. I think it's getting maybe a little too much light for the size that it is, but yeah. What else? So was that three I've shown you? Okay. Then I also have this one. This is a Cylindropuntia, and it is kind of sort of related to Opuntia, but it's in a different genus. This is also called the mini cholla cactus, and if you guys don't know what a cholla cactus is, be sure to look that up. It's a very, very dangerous cactus that grows in the desert, and they can get like stuck to your clothes and stuff. It's bad news. Yeah, exactly. Simon knows. They attack you, and it's kind of insane. But I watched David Attenborough. If you guys know who David Attenborough is, he's the British guy that does like all of the like animal documentaries. He had a really thick glove, like a really heavy duty glove, and he actually picked some up and they just like latched onto him. And he's like, oh, it already broke through the glove. And I'm like, ooh, that guy's gonna be bleeding. Um, Yeah, so any Opuntia type. Any Opuntia cacti are really dangerous just because they have really microscopic needles, like spines, and you have to get like a magnifying glass and tweezers to get them out of there. So just if you do have an Opuntia, be careful. Don't have it around kids or pets or anything because they're kind of bad news. But something about the danger of them is appealing, I guess. Uh, Well, Asraf, I think it depends on the cactus. I had one that got pretty heavily corked. I think I showed you guys that at one point. It was a Pachycereus. Sometimes that's just kind of what they do. Um, I think it helps with like support, and it's kind of like when you have, let's say, like a ficus. I mean, a ficus is eventually going to get like that secondary growth, like the bark. So sometimes that you just can't. It's one of those things you just can't avoid. Yes, yeah, they do kind of explode. Yeah, well, Christian, see, you're talking about the one I was talking about. I actually took a knife and I sliced it. And I'm going to wait and see what happens. It might die. I'll get it here in a little bit. Like I literally just took that part and just chopped it off. So maybe it'll start to branch or something. But if not, I just don't care. I was tired of it looking ugly. Well, we've talked about like Dragon. I think you were here. We were talking about Opuntia and how like hardy they actually are. Like some people can keep them outside like year round, even when it gets really cold. Especially if you cover them up to keep them from getting too frost damaged. Like I don't know how they survive. I agree. When they start to get barky, it's not quite as appealing. But yeah. And then, before I forget, the last one actually isn't a cactus. It is an agave. And it's like a really vicious looking agave. That's kind of why I want to put it in here. Just because these thorns are no joke. And this one on the end, razor sharp. This is the one that Wes didn't know I had, and he reached in between the console of the car and he like stabbed himself. And he's like, "What are you doing with a bag of needles in the car?" Like he was so mad. It wasn't funny, but it kind of was. Anyway, I don't know what species it is, but I kind of like the how it's kind of that lighter green. And I don't know if you guys can tell that the spines are actually red. So there's a really interesting contrast there that I find kind of nice. Oh, there, Wes heard that story again. Uh, So that's the five, and I'm almost certain that I can get four in here pretty comfortably because I don't want it to be too tight. But yeah, if we had to vote, if we had to vote one off, what would you guys vote off between the Stetsonia, the Mammillaria, the Cylindropuntia, the Ferrocactus, and the agave? Just so we can see some of these again. You know, oh, sounded like a musical instrument. I'm gonna try not to stab myself. Well, we're only voting off one, so I can get the other two in there. If you can get the feeding of the agave turns to be beautiful. Vote one off the island, yes. Yeah, I really do like that agave a lot. And I mean, if we decided to vote the agave out, I would probably keep it just because I like it a lot. And I would just put the other four in here. But so Christian votes for the Stetsonia. He does not like the Stetsonia. Ginger votes for the I think she said the Cylindropuntia. The tall one with arms, yes. That would be this one. Yeah, sort of like agave does get big. Agave, when it gets big, would actually fill this whole pot. Like it'll get nice and large. I just don't know how fast it grows. I think it still grows pretty slow. Slow enough that like if I put it in this planter, it should be fine for, I would say, probably at least a year before it starts to kind of become unmanageable. Ugh. Who hasn't voted? Steven, I know you're out there. Sylv, what do you think? Dragonite? I see you guys sitting out there. Also, I did finally get my hair cut, so, because it was kind of getting long. Steven says the agave. So far we're tied with agave, Cylindropuntia, and Stetsonia. Nobody has said Mammillaria or Ferrocactus, which is good because I like both of those. But okay, Sylv is also voting off the agave. Simon says, oh, Simon says, Simon voted off the Cylindropuntia. That's actually not a bad idea. I could put some cuttings of the Crassula in there. Um, I have some other stuff I could sneak in there, maybe. Isaiah says the taller one. I think he means the Stetsonia. Thank you, Simon. Well, I appreciate you coming by. Thanks for hanging out with us for a little bit. Oh, Sylv, that's true. I guess I didn't think about that because the other 4 are in Cactaceae and Agave is in, don't tell me. Okay, tell me. Which one is Agave in? The lower gets dropped out the window. Ouch. Oh, random side comment. That Hoya that I had, the shooting star Hoya, it finally flowered after it dropped most of its flowers, but I don't know. I gave it to Isaiah because I'm just over it. Oh, yeah, that's true, Leaf Year. I mean, if you have them growing wild, it's probably not that impressive. It's not, Isaiah, I don't think it's Agaviaceae anymore. It's something else. It's not Asphodelaceae, is it? Somebody look up what family agave's in. Yes, agave is in tequila. I think we have enough votes for the agave, and the fact that it's going to get really big and it might actually grow faster. I think I'm going to leave the agave out. I just don't know if I want to fit all 4 of the cacti in here, though. That's because I don't know. The Opuntia is cool, but do I really want to keep this? Like, what do these look like when they get bigger? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Doesn't it just look like, what if I just grabbed it? Would somebody tip me like 20 bucks if I just grabbed it? No, it's not worth it. Oh, see, Wes wants to get rid of the Cylindra puntia. They are an ouchie. Let's pop one of these out. Ooh, if I can get it out of there. Oh, that one actually did poke me. Look at that. Damn it. I thought maybe I could get it out of there. Still says, one rule, if you have an odd number of plants in a pot, but all of those are odd. Oh, Asparaginaceae. It might actually be Asparaginaceae, now that you mention it. I think they did move it into the asparagus family. Boy, I lied about that thing not stabbing you. That thing got me good. I don't know, they're pretty big though. I got them out. I need some newspaper or something to get this out, or a glove. You can use tongs. You just have to be careful with tongs that you don't like squeeze too hard and like damage the plant. I actually don't know if I own a pair of tongs, to be honest with you. If I can get it out of the pot, then I can do it. Hang on, I know exactly. I think I know what I'm gonna do. Yeah, I've got it. Okay, I've got it. 2 seconds. Maybe not 2 seconds. Maybe longer than that. Okay. What did I miss? Yes. Yes to everything that's being said, yes. Come out of there, baby. Come on. Ah. Some of that soil out of there. Ah, there we go. Once you can get it from the bottom, it's not too bad. There we go. See, this one was probably about ready. Like, it's starting to get a little bit of roots there, but I mean, nothing too crazy. Boy, I might have more space than I realized in this thing. A tip for every stab. Well, I've already gotten a couple. Dragonite asks, what cactus do you feel like is the most stabby? And then he said a cactus that I've never heard of. The Pharaoh cactus was already ready to come out. Like, it's already loose in the pot, and I actually grabbed it last night. Well, maybe grab isn't exactly the term I would use, but yeah. There we go. Beautiful little Pharaoh cactus. Oh yeah, you're right, Astro. Hang on, let me fix this angle here, so you guys can kind of see what's going on. Y'all don't need to see my ugly mug anyway. Boom. If I had any alcohol besides wine, that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But all I've got is cream soda. Okay, let's see. What do I want to try to grab next? I'm going to attempt to grab this Opuntia next. Okay. I'm going to scoot this just a little bit. Okay, baby. We are going to try to get this out without killing myself. Okay, there we go. Ah. There we go. Shut up, Christian. Don't make me laugh. I'm going to stab myself. Okay. Nice and easy. There we go. Oh, did I get one? I can't tell. I don't think I did. I think I'm good. No, Merlin, get out of here. Now my cat's trying to get over here. No, go away. Shoo. Ginger, I think we're going to leave the agave out just because I think it's going to get bigger faster than I'm comfortable with. So I'm just going to kind of leave it. I think I'm going to leave it in its own pot. Now, do you guys think I should put a fourth one, or should we just leave it at 3? He is. He's like a little... Like, it still looks like I have a pretty good amount of room on this side. But I can respace it to where, like, you know, there would only be 3, basically. But then I feel like that's too much space. Oh, Steven, you know what? If Wes is still listening, we need to set up a Discord tonight. We need to just get that going. Because I keep saying we're going to do that, and then I keep not doing it. Dump them all together, the mammal gets wet. Yeah, that's the only thing. That's the thing about this mammalaria is I feel like it's going to spread. I don't know. I mean, 3 looks nice. I don't know. Either way, even with this mammalaria, though, I mean, yes, it spreads fast, but I mean, I've had this one for not quite 2 years, and I mean, it hasn't really gotten too much bigger. I don't know how root bound it is because it was stabbing me, but like, yeah, I think we could get it to work. Yeah, fast for a cactus is still pretty damn slow, but okay, let me see if I can just kind of tap this out of here a little bit. Come out of there, you little turd. Oh. Come out, come on. I was pushing it up from the bottom a little bit just to try to get it to come loose a little bit. This one should be able to be divided just because it has so many pups. But I know that some Opuntia are actually just like one piece. So obviously you couldn't divide those. But yeah. Where's this? Let's just kind of get this just a little bit of an extra push here. I think we might find that this is actually like a little more root bound than we realize. Boy, you are coming out of that thing, whether you like it or not. Come on, baby. You just want me to get rid of all my terracotta pots. I know what your game is. Ah, there we go. Got it. Here are the beautiful roots. This top part here was what had kind of grown to the side of the pot, and that's why I was having trouble getting it out of there. But it does look like it's latched on pretty well as far as like how much it's grown. Now I'm just looking at it. I'm debating if I want to put this in here or not, just because I feel like it is actually like a lot more successful than the other cacti. But I don't know. It would look good. But it is going to spread kind of fast. Do you guys ever have to make these decisions where you're just like, I just don't know what to do? I mean, some rocks would look good. Like Sylph said, like putting some rocks and stuff in there. I think that would look good. Look at me with my pinky out like I'm drinking tea or something. I'm looking over there to see if I have anything else that you guys might think is cool in here. There's just really nothing else over there. I don't have a ton of cacti. Steven says in design, you usually do groups of 3. Ashraf, I'm usually the same way you are. Like, a lot of times, I would rather them be separate, but I'm kind of at the point with most of these cacti that I don't mind them being together just because, I'm at the point where I'd rather them just all be in one place. I don't know why. And stabbing. Is 5 really a thing, or are you guys just messing with me? I don't know. I think that'll work. And when it gets too big, I can just get it out of there. Okay. Why are odd numbers the thing? I mean, I'm not disagreeing, but I'm just curious. Like, what is it about odd numbers? Hang on, I'm gonna actually start getting these slightly situated to where I want them. And then maybe I do have room for a 5th one. Hang on, I'm making a little hole for this Stetsonia. Trying to be careful that they're not going to stab each other. Okay, and then we're going to do the Cylindropuntia. I mean, if I did do, so let's say that I just do 4 big ones. Then I could do a 5th one, but it would just be like a smaller plant. Like, does that work? Would that be satisfactory for this odd numbers thing? feel like this needs to be a little lower. Okay. Ooh, I don't know. That doesn't look like that has very much room. Just because you guys can't probably see it as well, but these, like especially off of this Stetsonia, like these spines go out really far. Like you have to give it like a little bit of breathing room. I don't know. I'm thinking that 3 might kind of be the limit here. I mean, I can repot this at some point. Like I can put it into a bigger pot when it's like a little closer to spring. But yeah, I think I might just actually go with the 3 because it's just, there's too much going on like with the spines that I don't think I can do it otherwise. I don't know if I want to divide the mammillaria though. I mean, it's definitely an option because it is like divisible, but I just don't know. Here's the other thing. When we're talking about cacti, you're really looking at 3 major shapes of cacti. You're looking at Sirius, which is like a column. You're looking at like the mammillaria shape, which is usually like a ball. And then you're looking at like the opuntia shape, which is typically rabbit ears, but in this case, they're cylinders. So this kind of features one of each. So maybe that's good. I mean, there's obviously exceptions to that rule, like when you're getting into Schlumbergera and Pereschia and like, you know, the jungle cacti, but I'm talking like desert cacti. I'll show you guys. I mean, I did a little succulent planter too, just because I had a lot of smaller type succulents. But I don't know if it's an odd number or not. Now you guys got me questioning if I did that right. Oh, that almost got me. Damn. Okay, the Stetsonia's got to dig a little deeper. It's not going in there deep enough. Okay. I think once we get some rocks in here and stuff, I think this will actually look pretty good. Okay. They look tall. They're not as tall as you might think. And like I think once they do start growing, you know, I can always separate them. But for now, there's actually quite a bit of like, I don't know, I think it's because I'm looking at it from a different angle. But let me see if I can start filling this here. Oh my goodness, this thing is heavy. So far, I'm not bleeding, so that's good. Okay. Are you guys doing any outdoor stuff right now for spring? I was outside today blowing all the dead leaves out of my garden. If you want to call it a garden, it's just like the flower garden that was here before we moved here. Sylv, if you're talking about like when you kind of take the top out of, let's say you have a really big plant and you don't want to repot it, basically you take like the top 2 inches out of dirt and you put like fresh soil and fertilizer in there. Yeah, I mean, I've done it. I haven't done it on any of these yet, but. Oh yeah, so if you're in the Philippines, so that's a little bit different. And yeah, Leaf here, the mix looks dense, but I wish you guys could like touch it. Like, cause you could see that it's not quite as dense as it appears. Oh, that kind of top dressing. Well, there's another kind of top dressing that's when you take the the soil out of a really big pot. Anyway, I've only done the gravel. I did that on my Ripsalis. But yeah. I'm trying to get this kind of to where these aren't going to move around. Oh, don't stab me, please. Don't stab me. Really getting in there and trying to like not get stabbed is kind of the risky part. The only reason I know, the other thing is, the only reason I know that this mix, I don't even remember what this is. The only reason I know it's not like super dense is because the plant I had in here before was perpetually dry. Like I would water it and it would just dry out. So I know that it's not like something that's gonna retain a ton of moisture. But yeah. Actually, I should just need just a little bit more, like right in the middle. Like just right in there. Ooh, that almost got me. Did you see that? Oh, I haven't watched Summer Rain in a while. Horseradish mayonnaise. You know, I'm not really much of a mayo guy myself. Okay, just a little bit more, and I think we got it. Right there. Maybe a little bit more right there too. Kitty litter. Is that a real thing? I wouldn't think that's a real thing, but sometimes I'm not sure with you guys. Yeah, Summer Rain lives in the Northeast, I think. Okay. So it looks like when you kind of look at it from above or even from the side, it might look like, oh wow, there's like so much space on this outer edge. But when you kind of look at it from the side, you can see that like that area is really, really super shallow. But you know, it's gonna look like, does that make sense? Like it looks like there's more space for like overwatering than there is. But I think it should actually work out to be perfectly. So the thing that we're missing is the rocks. I'm trying to remember if I have any good like desert colored rocks on me. I'm gonna angle this up ever so slightly. Oops. There we go. I don't know if I have rocks. I know I have white rock right now, but I don't know if I have desert rock. Hang on just a sec. I do have, I'm not gonna put these in here, but I do have some random like, these random little like figures that Wes got someplace, or maybe I bought them, I don't remember. Like here's a little bird bath. There's like a squirrel and a rabbit. You know what I mean? Like it's just kind of, that's not really for the desert though. That's more for like if you did a planter of like, you know, like forest plants or ferns or something. These would look good in my little terrarium actually. I did get them someplace. Okay, Wes says that I bought them, but I don't remember actually doing that. The other thing I might do when I do get the rocks in here, uh, I then there'll be pebbles. I'll do pebbles and then I'll do like a little bit of like actual rocks. I'll mix those in a little bit into the top of the soil just so that there is less soil, I'm sorry, less moisture collecting at the top. Because one of the big problems you run into with cacti is that when the soil stays wet, especially at the top, that's where you get a lot of stem rot. You can still get root rot no matter what, but like that stem rot is what makes those cacti just kind of tip over and they turn into mush. So that's just gonna kind of, just as kind of an extra measure, I think I'm gonna do that. But I don't know. I think this worked out decently enough. I still think I think you guys are right though. I could fill this in with some filler plants somehow. I don't really have any other than maybe that crassula, but something that would just kind of fill in these edges a little bit so it doesn't quite look as empty. But I don't know. We'll see. Let me get the other planter because I told you guys I have another planter. Let me get that. Oh. This over here. Because of Roswell. That's funny. Akadama? Oh, wow, okay. 50-pound bag of pea gravel? Oh, wow. In, I could buy something like that. I just don't use it enough for like top dressing. I wonder if I don't have any stones out here, but I'll probably just get some aquarium gravel or something and just kind of like mix it in there. This is the one I did. I've added to it since I did it on the live stream, but this one has the big pheasant breast aloe in the back. I've got a little Titanopsis succulent right there. And then I've got that weird succulent that we had trouble with. I think it's Corpusulacaria right here. And then I've got a, what is it? Why can't I think of this plant? Well, anyway, it's flowering. What is this plant called? Trichodiadema. Trichodiadema. That's this plant. And then I've got a couple of little Tephro here. Tephro actually, I think Tephro gets tall, but I got just a couple of these little starters for like $4 or something. So I thought, why not? And is this 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there you go. It's an odd number of genera in there. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. I've been trying to keep it good and watered just because the Trichodiadema especially actually takes more water than you might think of. But the rest of it seems to be doing pretty okay. I love Trichodiadema too, just because those little, I think these little parts on top look like little stars. I always thought that was kind of cool. I like lava rocks. I think I have lava rocks someplace, but I don't remember where. Aloe, Tephro Trichodiadema, yeah. And that weird succulent, yes. Was it Delosperma that I had trouble with? I don't remember. I had a weird Delosperma. I gave that away, but like, I don't know. It was kind of cool, but I'm just looking at this cactus one now, and I'm just like, ugh, I hate that there's so much space around the edges. But I think once it has rocks in it, it'll actually look pretty good. So yeah, I'm telling you, it's bizarre. I don't know how well it's doing. That Corpusulacaria, it does have some wrinkled leaves on it, but it's growing new leaves where those wrinkled ones were. So that's why I'm like that makes me it gives lithops vibes because I think they're both in Azoiaceae. Good evening, vibes. Speaking of vibes, there's Vibes Aquatics. Um, yeah, cactus succulent back garden. Well, I mean, in Australia, they do have some kind of desert type weather that they can actually get away with that. Yes, yes, Wes says, well, you guys just saw what he said, but it does need just a little something. But I'll find something, and when I get it kind of completed, I'll do a short and update you guys. Sylv, this one I water probably weekly. Sometimes, like lately, it's been a week and a half just because it's been winter. I just kind of wait till it's dry, but not too dry because some of the succulents in here don't want to be that dry. But it's been doing fine. I've had it like this for, oh, I don't know. Well, whenever I did that live stream and put it together, but I did actually let it get too dry, I think like 3 weeks ago, and I lost one of the Titanopsis plants that was in there. It just got too dry. And that's the thing about a lot of succulents. I mean, I'm sure, but a lot of people don't realize just how much water succulents need. So it's easy to let them accidentally dry out thinking that you just don't have to water them. But Christian, did you call Vibes Aquatics my sugar daddy? Oh, I need to put that over there. I don't have a ton of succulents left, actually. It's kind of nice having some of them together. But I'm looking over there. My Lampranthus is getting kind of ridiculous. Wes saw it earlier, and he's like, you just need to get rid of that thing. But I don't know, it's just doing so well. I kind of wish I wish I had more of that stuff near me so that I could show it to you. Let me grab 2 more. I'm gonna put this back. I had never seen a trichodiadema flower, so it's kind of cool that that I actually did get it to flower. Okay, Wes says I can walk over there with the phone. Actually, I'll turn the grow light on too. So I'm gonna pick you guys up. Ooh, here we go. Pardon if you guys see that my house is a little bit of a mess. Where can I stick you guys? Let's stick you guys right. No, not there. Stick you guys right here. Okay, what do we got over here? Here is the Lampranthus, and it is okay. Ignore the curtains. Those are getting replaced. But anyway, this is the Lampranthus, and look at how big it's gotten. Even since I did the video, it's gotten so big. I really like it. I really like the shape that it's starting to get, like kind of like a tree. It's one that I have to water more often. It actually does take quite a bit of water. But yeah, if you guys ever come across one, they're pretty cool plants. I don't see them a lot, but yeah. Also might be known as Oscularia. I don't know, it's up there. I also have the really weird Senecio that we kind of don't really understand what it's doing, but this is it. It's just a very bizarre plant. I don't know. What is it doing? Why is it like this? But it's pretty cool. I'm excited to kind of see what else it does. Doesn't it look like something out of like Jumanji or something? I don't know. But if you guys remember that movie. Yeah, yeah. It also just has a really cool texture. Like just if you kind of see that kind of scaly texture on the thing. Good night, Vibes. Thank you for stopping by and saying hello. I appreciate it. It's good seeing you. Let me see. I have a pretty cool Gasteria. This Gasteria has actually grown quite a bit. Gasteria is a really easy succulent to take care of. It's got really cool, it's got like that really cool texture to it when you touch it. And it's just a good looking plant. Like, especially in this kind of pot, like terracotta, it just looks very appealing. Now, I don't know really if it's ready to be repotted. I might look at that in the spring, but it's doing really well. It's pretty cool. It hasn't flowered or anything. I don't know if they do flower indoors, but I don't know. Has anyone ever had a gasteria flower? I can gently put that back. I did. Well, I moved them down here. Like when we talked about like rearranging, when you had mentioned like, you know, I ended up moving them down here. I do think that fiddle leaf figs are a little overrated, but that's just me. I also have this I think it's a Haworthiopsis, or is it Haworthia? We've talked about that before, and I had both of them and I got rid of one. Looks like an aloe, but it's actually a Haworthia. It started as just like the mother plant, and basically everything on the sides that you see here is all pups. It's all babies, and I've just kind of let them do their thing. And it's actually been one of the easier succulents I've ever had. I don't know if it's ready yet or not. I don't see any roots coming out the bottom, but it is actually quite heavy. Like, it is getting big. So usually in the spring, what I'll do, especially with my succulents, is I'll just kind of pop them out of the pot just to kind of see how they're doing. Most of the time, their root systems have kind of secured most of the soil. Not always, but if they're root bound, it's really easy to tell. I'm trying to read your comments as they're popping up on my phone. Dragonite asked how often I water this. I water this more or less weekly. During the winter, it's less, probably a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, kind of just depending on how big the plant is, but it's really not too often. I mean, Haworthia are known for being hardier succulents, like they can go for longer without water. But you just got to be careful though, because if you're not watering it enough, it will get brown tips on it, which is not like the worst thing. But this one does have a couple of brown tips. But I've been pretty diligent with my succulents and taking care of them. So this is where it flowered. I just need to cut this off or pinch it off. The flowers are not that impressive, but yeah. What else do I got over here? I put all my cuttings on the bottom shelf. So the only one that is kind of significant, and it's not a succulent, but this is an Epiprimnum giganteum, and it's like super variegated. Wes saw this one when we went to your greenhouse, and he had to have it. So I'm just kind of crossing my fingers that it actually gets bigger, even with all of this variegation on it. But it's pretty cool. Very, very, very white. But yeah. Oh, what else is up here? We also have this Pachypodium. This is the Madagascar palm. It does get a lot of these leaves on it. These also get very thick and very tall. It takes a long time to do it, but it's an interesting addition if you end up getting one. But I can already tell, if you guys look at those roots coming out. This baby is ready to be repotted. So probably another couple of weeks, I'll start looking into that. But yeah, it's been pretty cool so far. I know it's put on probably about an inch since I got it. I just think this would make a really cool corner plant once it gets bigger. It's just gonna take a while, but that's okay. I mean, it's worth the wait. Because big plants cost so much money sometimes. I'm like, well, if I can just get like a medium-sized one and then kind of enjoy the process of watching it grow. It does have a little bit of yellow tip, like some yellowing on the tips, just because, you know, I don't always remember to water it. But Dragonite said to put it by the door to ward off intruders. Just have one of these fall if somebody walks in, just like fall right on them. Because these thorns, well, they're not too hard. Like that pharaoh cactus has harder spines than this does, but they're still pretty pokey. I could stab myself with it. Get up there. The last thing I have that's a succulent over here is this. This is my Ripsalis paradoxa, and it has those chain link pieces on it, which I think is very, very unique. It took me a long time to find one of these, but I finally found it when I was driving through St. Louis. It has gotten very long from what I originally got it. So it's a really neat plant. Got a lot of new growth coming out right there, which is pretty cool. The confusing thing about this plant, though, is if you guys look right here, it has done something weird and put off a piece that looks like a dogtail cactus. Like, that is straight up a dogtail cactus. I don't really know what's going on with that. If this is like a cultivar or something of a dogtail cactus, but it does have, oh, it has another piece right there that kind of reverted to that. I don't know. That's a little bizarre to me because it's even hairy. It's even hairy like the dogtail cactus. But the rest of it's still like the standard chain link. So. Oh, yeah, Christian, I guess I didn't think about that. It could be for like reproduction or something. I don't know. I'll have to look into that because the beginning of it is still the chain link part. And then as it got a little bit further down, it got that hairy part. But yeah, let me put this back without destroying it. I'm gonna sit you guys right up here for just a moment. Yeah. Get up there, get up there, get up there. Okay. And then Sylv was talking about top dressing with rocks. I actually do have that top dressed with, I believe that's lava rock, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, I know some of you have been commenting and I have not been able to see them. Let me go back to my computer and I can do that. But yeah, the living room's coming together. There's my big Strelitzia that needs to go outside. And there's that big Tenanthe I was talking about. Sylv just checked. The flowers are on the chain link stems. Huh. Also, I only have my grow lights on right now because I needed more light in this room. This room actually does not have a ton of light in it. All right, get back here. Okay. Oh, jeez, Louise, man. This damn tripod. Is that crooked? You guys think that's crooked? That's a little bit better. Let me see. Pretty. Oh, Usref. The lights are on for the succulents. So I kind of do, like, I kind of try to keep with the way the sunlight is where I live. So every month I'll add like an hour. I haven't adjusted it yet for March, but at the peak, I believe it's on for somewhere between 14 and 16 hours. Just to kind of compensate for the fact that they're grow lights, it's not actual sun. If I notice that they're getting a little too much light, if they're starting to get that extra pink on them or something, I'll scale it back maybe an hour or something. But it's usually not an issue. The timing thing just kind of helps the plants adjust. You don't have to do that. I mean, you can keep your timers consistent the whole year round, but I just like to mess with it. It gives me something to do. It doesn't happen to be a graphic. I don't know, Dragonite. That's the thing. Like, I don't know a ton about that particular Ripsalis. I don't think it's grafted, or else it wouldn't be called a different species. Or that's what I always thought. So I just don't know. But those weren't there when I got it. Those showed up there. Like they just grew there. So I don't know. And yeah, Leaf, no problem. That's not obviously the full tour of all the plants I have. But that was the succulents at least. I mean, you guys can kind of see behind me, I'm starting to try to put that shelf together. It's just a work in progress. Um, I've got my big Ficus Ali right there. There's my Ficus Shaviriana. Um, is somebody... You know, I didn't pick those curtains. They were just here. They were just here. I just talked to my father-in-law today, and we are going to look at getting new curtains soon. That's the next thing on my list. What paneling are you talking about? There's no paneling in here. I don't know. The rest of the house is good. Oh, the brown's not that bad. The brown looks okay. If you want to come paint it, you go right ahead. Now, I did actually paint, we did redo the bathrooms because the bathrooms are kind of dated. Here we are venturing away from plants like we always do. But I just, bathrooms are the place where you can be daring, right? You can use bold colors and like really just go for it, because not everybody sees your bathroom. It's not something you look at all the time. So it's your chance to really be creative and do stuff. I'm trying to think of what condition my bathroom's in right now. Here, let's look. I'm gonna take you guys right over here, and I'm gonna show you what I did. Let me move this out of the way. So this is our downstairs bathroom, and we did it in blues and golds. There's me in the mirror. Because if you guys notice the floor here, it is actually a really ugly gold like hexagon. And rather than rip up all that tile, I thought, well, let's just do blue and gold, and we'll kind of bring out those colors and everything. So I think it turned out pretty well. Just kind of did some blue and gold art, and just kind of, I don't know, I like it. Kind of like a hotel bathroom or something is kind of what I was going for, but I don't know. I even repainted the vanity and everything, put some gold like flecks and everything on it. But yeah, that was our random excursion from plants, I guess. This thing, I swear, there we go. Persian. Actually, that's kind of a good way to look at it too, Persian. I flirted with the idea of doing purple and gold, but purple seemed a little too daring. And I think that blue and gold, I think they fit better together in my opinion. But purple and gold are my school colors, so that's why I was like, I don't know, that's kind of tempting. But what is going on back here? You guys can also see my is that Trachycarpus? That palm? That's literally one of my favorite palms, just because of how like reliable it's been. It's been just so good to me when other palms have just died off and been difficult and finicky and everything. It's also called a windmill palm, I believe, but it's really pretty good. Well, Dragonite, you know, I was a mage on World of Warcraft, so the wizard is in me. Yeah, Sylv, I'll take you guys upstairs. Well, not upstairs, but like the next level up. And I'll show you the plants I got recently. And I'll just show you some of the other plants that I have hiding up there that I'm still kind of sorting through. One thing I do, let me show you guys these two plants real quick. Let me move this. Oh, this is that windmill palm. And I just think it's cool. I really do just think it's such a neat plant. I had it outside last year. It did just fine outside. It does get spider mites sometimes. So it's just one of those things I have to be kind of aware of when it does get spider mites. But other than that, it's pretty cool. It also had centipedes at one point. When I put it outside, there were some centipedes that kind of made their home in there, but it's fine. Let's see. Yeah, Wes plays WoW. Wes is the one that got me into WoW. Now I don't still play. Uh, I think the game's gone in certain directions that I don't really care for, but uh, it's always going to be a part of me, right? Like even the the Eye of the Kirin Tor. But yeah, Leafier got a free Parlor Palm. That's not bad. Camadoria, yeah. Parlor Palms are supposed to be really good too. I have one. I have a pretty big one. I need to repot, but yeah, Christian. The thing is, like, I was really into the story part of it, and it reached a point where I felt like the story should have probably ended, but because they're making so much money, it just has to keep going, and I just kind of got bored with it. I just thought it was kind of some of the plot lines were really stupid. So millipedes are cool though. I want to get a pet millipede. That's like the next pet I'm wanting to get because millipedes they're harmless. Yeah, centipedes will sting you though. Be careful. Yeah, I mean, if it gets to the point where your palms get big enough, they do have trunks just because they're trees. I mean, technically they're not trees, but they are trees. Wachter. What's up, Wachter? Wachter Pepper. That just makes me want a Dr. Pepper. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining us. What was the other thing I was going to show you guys? This is my Camadoria Metallica. It needs water. This is another one that's been really reliable for me. I think it's maybe lost one leaf since I got it. And I got it last year. I think I've had it for a year now because we went and saw Les Mis, the musical up in Nebraska, and it was like -12. But I ended up finding one of these at Lowe's. So it's a really cool. The leaf shape is really cool, and it kind of has a nice look to it. This is another one of those plants that I would just never get rid of because I really do adore it. So, oh, um, this is that. This is that Syndapsis. What is it called? Paracensis. It's that new Syndapsis that Costa started not manufacturing, but like growing. It's kind of got a good look to it, just with kind of the almost silvery colored leaves, but they're nice and big. You wouldn't guess it's a Syndapsis by looking at it, but so far I haven't had any issues with it. I'm still kind of feeling it out, but it hasn't really. I think it's lost maybe like 2 leaves, but I think it's put out probably twice as many. So that palm, don't worry about that palm. The leaves always look a little bit like that, even when I water it. So it's not that dry. Christian is always ready to crucify me over that, I swear. What else? Let's go upstairs because I know that Sylv wanted to see some of the stuff that was upstairs. I'm actually gonna take this with me, unless it's a fern. Yes. I mean, I was just gonna show the plants in the kitchen. Uh, it's fine, I promise. Okay, I'm gonna set you guys up kind of where I used to actually record, which is gonna be right here. Get that set there. Okay. Did you talk about the aloe in the foreground? The aloe in the foreground. Hi, Jefferson. Um, oh, if you're talking about the aloe that was in, is it still down there? Yeah, I had that in a planter. It's just an aloe pheasant breast, and it's doing fine. It's just kind of it's just kind of the big, tall focal point of that planter. So, and for those of you who've been watching a little bit, this is where the shelf was, my original like plant shelf. So we've kind of turned it into kind of a little seating area, um, just to kind of go a different direction with things. But I'm not going to show you what's behind me because it's a mess. But my kitchen is behind me and there's just a ton of plants because I'm still kind of sorting through them. But I can at least show you guys a few things. Christian is the angel of justice. Leafier, have you not watered your maidenhair fern in over a month? I've got mine in my little terrarium right now, and it's doing fine. Stephen told Wes not to speak. What can I show you that's interesting? Well, I can show you those Scheffleras, because Sylv wanted to see the Scheffleras. Here's one of the ones I got. And this is just the regular basic Schefflera that you often see. I can't remember, is it arboricolia? Arboricolia? Is that the smaller one? Because then the bigger one is a different species, but I don't remember which one it is. But anyway, this is the smaller one. I just need to get it into an actual pot. And I did buy a couple of nice plastic pots, just because Scheffleras don't really like to dry out super hard, so I didn't want to go terracotta. And also because they're already bigger plants, I just thought, well, the terracotta like this size is going to be pretty heavy. So the other one, let me grab it. This is the other Schefflera. It has much bigger leaves, and like I said, this is a species. These can get much taller. The other Schefflera get really bushy and like wide. This one gets tall. The leaves are really dirty. I actually need to like rinse them off, like scrub them off. But yeah, it's you guys can already see it's pretty tall. You know how much this was? This was $15, literally $15. So it was a pretty good deal. I couldn't pass that up. But of course, it's kind of a hit or miss on whether or not the thing survives, but we'll see. Hang on. I'm catching up here. Jefferson asked about the tips on the Schefflera. We were kind of talking about it earlier. I'm going to do another video soon on like Schefflera and like the Aralias. But Schefflera is one of those ones that it needs good bright light. It needs consistent watering, so you don't really want to miss a watering. And you don't want to let it dry out like super hard. But yeah, what was the other thing I was going to say about it? You also don't want to overwater them because they start to get yellow leaves, but some leaf drop is normal, especially like the bottom leaves. But if you notice it's dropping like all of its leaves, then you're probably doing something wrong. I've lost a couple, well, like 3 or 4 Scheffleras in the past, but we're trying it again because it's been 2 or 3 years since I've done it. So I thought, why not? And the other one, the first one, it was only $15 too. So I don't know. I can't pass up deals like that. You know what I mean? So what else is over here that is interesting? Jefferson, don't worry about it. It's cool that you came at all. I appreciate it. I did get a new plant that you guys have probably heard of. I'm not going to show it yet. What else is over here? Oh, I still have this. It's cordyline, and it's like a new kind of variety of cordyline that's got like that like triple color variegation. Um, but the thing is, cordyline is really not the easiest plant to take care of. They need like decent humidity. They need to be watered consistently. They need really bright light. But it was only like $6, and I even like the stems. Like even the stems are pretty on this thing. But yeah, exactly. Christian was talking about the similarities to Dracaena. I mean, it really is. If you want a plant like this, Dracaena is probably the better option just because Dracaena is a lot more forgiving. And they make Dracaena in so many different shapes, but they make one that looks very similar to this. But I saw it and I thought, $6, why not? Yeah, Ashraf says it's for landscape. I mean, they really do need crazy bright light. Most of the ones you see are purple, but that was that was a different one. Somebody said something about scales. Scales need to be treated with. Yeah, yeah. Lately, I've had more mealy bugs than anything else. Like they've just kind of crept up a little bit, but they're easy to get rid of. I'm not really that concerned about it. Um, One thing that I'm gonna do, maybe on our next live stream, this is a triple, like a triple plant African violet, um, and I think it's getting big enough now that it's ready to be divided up. Well, not divided up, but like split up. The only one that's flowering right now is the kind of burgundy maroon one. One of these is purple. The purple one's starting to put out some flowers, and then the other one I think is pink. So I'm just gonna give a couple of these away, but I think I'm gonna keep this one because I really like that color. Um, it's just kind of a deep, almost wine color. I mean, it is kind of pink too, I guess. But I don't know. I'm kind of impressed that it just started flowering on its own. I didn't even fertilize it. Most of the time, these you have to actually like put fertilizer in them. Well, I think with African violets, it's one of those things where a lot of our mothers had them, and like it's just one of those like traditional house plants. They're actually easier to take care of than I always was led to believe. Um, but yeah, I don't know. You just have to be careful when you water them not to get the leaves wet. They don't really like that. But I don't know. It's just something about house plants that flower that can be kind of appealing just because most of our house plants don't flower. Uh, well, Christian, was it one plant and you like did like propagation by division? Because I could see where that could be like really like traumatic for the plant. Because that's actually three plants. Like it's actually three in one. Yeah, Dragonite. You gotta be careful about that. It's just because the leaves, since the leaves are fuzzy when they get wet, that moisture stays there too long, and it just starts like a rot, basically. That's not very forgiving. What else is over here? Oh well, I know. I know we're divided a little bit on. Hang on. Oh, okay. I do have a couple of Aglaonemas Usruff, actually. I don't have any spider plants, and yeah, then the African violet. But yeah, some things are just tradition, I guess. But I know we're divided on Hoyas, but this is the Hoya that I actually kept. This is my Hoya obovata, and it's just so big. It's just so big and pretty, and you just like get up close and you look at those leaves, how they've got that speckled kind of starry variegation. I don't know, and it's gonna flower again. I think this spring because it did flower once. But yeah, just some of those. Look at some of how perfectly round those leaves are, almost perfect circles. I just love that. And I guess some of these are a little bit oblong shaped, but yeah, it's gotten nice and big. Wes says it's getting unruly, but I don't know. I think it's okay. Dragonite, I could see you having one spider plant and starting with that, and then as it puts off new babies and new pups, I could see you just saving every single one of them because you just can't bear to throw any of them out. Yeah, the orange spider plant is it's chlorophytum. Um, what is that? What is the species called? They also call it a mandarin plant. Mandarin plants are really cool. I had one for a while. My cat started chewing it though, so I got rid of it. I can't remember. Philippindulum? Is that what it's called? Chlorophytum philippindulum? Somebody might look that up. I'm pretty sure I'm right, but I might be wrong. Yeah, Silva, if you can find one, it was pretty reliable. You just have to keep it watered. But I mean, you could say that about all chlorophytums. They don't like to dry out too hard. But oh, did we not? I thought it was Philopendulum. But I guess that's been forever ago that I did that video. But you remember that? Good night. I keep forgetting you've been around for a long time. Um, Let me show you guys a couple more. Here is here is my Rhaphis. This is my lady palm. And I love lady palms. I love the shape of them. I love the leaves on them. But it is not the easiest thing to take care of. And you guys can see that it does have brown tips. And this is one that I've been keeping watered. The soil is literally wet right now. But because they need a little bit more humidity, you'll see these brown tips on them. Now, I don't know very many people that have lady palms, but just look at how pretty it is. I mean, they really are beautiful plants. And this one is doing fine. It's still getting bigger. It's still putting out new growth. It just has a lot of brown tips on it. So I'm gonna try some different things this spring with this to see if I can amp up that humidity a little bit, or if I can maybe look at putting it in another room, maybe a bathroom or something, to where it's just gonna get a little bit more of what it needs. But yeah, I have had other palms. For example, I had a Livistonia, I had that Howia. Like those just kicked the bucket. Like they didn't even give me a chance to try to save them. They just turned into nothing and died. So they don't. Yeah, still they frown upon it when you kind of take the plants out of there. Chlorophytum orchidastrum. I think that was one of the names that we thought it might be because it did kind of look orchid-like. Yeah. You know, you said the plastic bag thing, but another thing that is like an option, I've seen those like cases that you can buy that looks, it's like a big plant case basically. That would be a good candidate for something like that. If I found one, I mean, it's already kind of big though. So if I found one that would actually fit in. Ooh, excuse me. What else is hiding over there? Oh, I see a good one. Here is here's the Clusia. This is the same Clusia from the original video, and it got pretty big when I stuck it outside over the summer. The only problem I have with it right now is that when I stuck it outside, it started getting kind of like attacked a little bit, um, and it just kind of I don't know. I think the bugs really liked this one. So I don't know if I'm actually going to stick it outside this year or not. You guys can kind of see that there's just some damage on those leaves that was not there before last summer. Now it hasn't gotten any worse, so I don't think it's any sort of infection. I'm pretty sure there's probably some insect around here that really likes this. Um, but yeah, it's still getting bigger. Clusias will actually get quite large. They will get to the point where they can get as big as a Ficus elastica, even, or elastica? Well, yeah, that too, a Ficus lyrata. They can get pretty large. So I'm going to keep this one around. It's already getting the secondary growth, like the bark on the bottom here. So that's kind of cool, where it's starting to become more tree-like. Yeah, Clusia is actually a tree. It's also called the autograph tree. I don't know why it's called the autograph tree, but this one, I think this is a princess Clusia. So there's two different kinds. The princess, which kind of has leaves that are a little more uniquely shaped, and then the regular Clusia, they're very kind of oblong. But yeah, I I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping that it puts out some better growth this year. But yeah, hang on, you guys are blowing me up. Uh, yeah, I'm kind of ready to start putting some stuff out too. I'm really particular about what I put outside though, just because um, I don't like I don't like sticking too much out there because our summers here just are really hot and dry sometimes. So, oh, okay. Actually, Dragonite, I had heard that. Maybe you're the one who told me that originally on the on that video. Because the regular Clusia, this one the leaves are a lot thinner, but the regular Clusia does have really thick leaves. I could see people like carving into them. Jefferson, I am in central US, so like on the plains, and we don't get a lot of rain, but we do get a lot of sun and humidity. So you would think, you know, that plants would like that, but as it turns out, it just gets so hot that it's just a little too hot for them. Last summer, it got into the triple digits, so it just wasn't ideal necessarily. Because in the tropics, it doesn't necessarily get that hot. You know, the tropics are a little more temperate, um, but the weather here is just a little more extreme. Yes, there's a lot of corn, that too. Uh, what else? I thought there was another good one I could show you guys. Oh, I'm debating on I'm debating on getting rid of this plant because it's starting to get a little bit like out there. But tell me what you guys think. This is this is the philodendron. I think it's a tabapoense, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I've been told. I think that's actually what the tag said. But it's got these really long, beautiful, interesting leaves. Let me step back here. It's gotten pretty wide. And that's kind of why I'm like, I don't know, do I want to keep this or not? Like, it's just, it starts to take up a lot of floor space just because of how wide it gets. Now, it's got a lot of new growth on it too. And I did take some cuttings of it so that maybe I could, you know, start another plant. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't know if I want to keep it. You guys are such haters on terracotta, I swear. It's doing just fine. But this is one, like, so some philodendrons, like, you guys know that some philodendrons actually crawl, like the gloriosum, and some of them, like, climb. I'm pretty sure this is a climber. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But isn't this one of the ones that actually climbs? Okay, okay. When I repot in the spring, I will put this in something else if I keep it. That's a really long leaf right there. That's crazy. Yeah, a tab of poets. That was the one. Yeah. I will agree with I will agree with some of those comments. I wouldn't say no terracotta for all aeroids just because I've lost a few epiprimnums to overwatering. So I never put epiprimnum in anything but terracotta just because they are more susceptible to overwatering than you might realize. Just because I don't know why. Actually, that's a good question. But I've I even lost a marble queen that was in a terracotta pot, and I'm a consistent underwaterer. But rather than a moss pole, oh yeah. I mean, if I had to pick, I would want a Gloriosum, but I just don't like the way the Gloriosum grows. So it's just like, I don't know. Wes is calling me for dinner. So I think we're gonna go maybe another 10 minutes and then we'll wrap this up so I can show you guys a couple more plants. But yeah, leaf year, I don't know. I like the aesthetic of some terracotta, but I mean, I don't always do terracotta. Like I've got, here's that really nice asplenium. I really like this pot with it just because it's a nice like light blue. But yeah, yeah. This actually is getting a lot of new growth in it too, actually. This is probably the hardiest fern I've ever seen. I've shown this on the channel a few times. Yeah, I've seen the Glorious. That would be a good one to get. I've also seen like the Summer Glory. I think Summer Glory is a climber. I had one. I had one years ago, but it started really getting crazy wide, and I'm just like it's hard. It's hard to hold on to stuff when it gets too out of control like that. But yeah, Jefferson. Yeah, I water mine. Well, if the soil is starting to get a little dry, I'll water it. It's usually weekly, but there's sometimes that I'll go to water it and it's still pretty like damp. So I'll just skip that watering, maybe check it a few days later, but I try not to be too crazy with it. Yeah. Well, the good news is some of you guys are going to get your wish because as soon as I get rid of more plants, I actually have a stockpile of pots that are like glazed pots that Wes bought that he wants me to use. So I'll switch some of these plants over into those. And yeah. Stephen asks, what's for dinner? That is a good question. Um, I had pasta for lunch, so I probably don't want that. A sandwich kind of sounds good. How big is a 1 gallon pot? Like, I don't actually know, like, I always kind of go by the, like, the size, like, the circumference, or not the circumference, the diameter of the pot. Let me show you guys a couple more plants. What would be a couple more good ones to show? No, I showed you guys that one recently. That one's a surprise. We'll do that one last. And how about, mm, let's do this one. I do have one snake plant. It's like a big kind of white one. It's just getting kind of out of control. I've considered cutting it back a little bit, but yeah. This is my silver Maranta, and it's actually doing pretty well. It's getting ready to go into spring growth. I can already tell. It's getting a lot of new leaves popping up on it, and it's going to need to start being watered more. Right now, it's still pretty damp, just because I do actually take care of this. But yeah. Um, but yeah, it's actually doing, ever since I put it under better light, it's been growing a lot more. So yeah. You guys, it's fine. It really is fine. It's not, it has one yellow leaf on it. Oh, it's got one crispy leaf back here. And only because the whole thing came undone. It's even got some nice kind of red coloring on it from where I've had it under good light. Ugh. Yeah, Isaiah saw it before. I kind of had it in lower light just because I didn't want to overdo it. And once I put it under brighter light, it did a lot better. So, let's see. Hang on, let let me move this out of the way. I know, Steven, I'm getting so much hate today. I'm not sure about that. Oh, yeah. So this one I actually found at a grocery store recently. I thought for a second that it was just like a Tradescantia, but of course it had these really unique flowers on it, and this is actually a Calissia. I had to look it up with my phone, but I've never had one before. I'll probably end up doing a care video for this once I've spent a little bit more time with it. But it does have similarities to Tradescantia, but it just has a really beautiful kind of silver green to it. And I don't know, have you guys ever had one of these before? Because it's just kind of, this is going to be a first time for me. Get that out of there. Oh, okay. So then that's why they look similar. I guess they're kind of cousins or maybe siblings. But I'm hoping that if that's true, I hope that it performs better than Tradescantia. I don't really like how Tradescantia starts to grow after a long time. Um, mm, okay, well, I mean, we'll just see what it does then. It seems like kind of mixed opinions, but yeah, I don't know. I just thought it was really pretty. And even if I end up having to propagate it, like if it gets too leggy or something, I mean, I can just do that. But I don't know if they flower pretty readily. Um, but I mean, this one was flowering, so I thought, why not? And I think it was, how much was it? It's like $14. $14 for a plant I've never seen before or never had. I just thought, well, why not? Where can I set this? Um, I don't know. That's a good question. I actually don't know a ton about them. Yeah, Tradescantia flowers are a lot smaller, I thought. They're a lot more like petite. They don't get big bracts or anything like that. Oops. Yeah, Jefferson, no problem. Yeah, I don't know if it'll get how unruly it'll get, but got to start someplace just to see what happens. So, okay. Well, I think that'll probably about wrap it up for tonight. Probably get off here and make some dinner and see if I can clean this place up a little bit, and we'll just kind of go from there. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you for coming and hanging out for a little bit. Um, we'll probably try to do another one of these uh, next Sunday, uh, or maybe just like next week during the week sometime. We'll just kind of play it by ear. So yeah, until the next time, I will see you guys very soon. Oh, and yes, an update might not be a bad idea. Yeah. Yes, thank you, Sylv. Yes, good night.